Yo, what is up guys? I'm here hitting you up with a new Etheria restart video. So for today, I wanted to talk to you about the upcoming weekend. One thing I hope everybody did already, since we already know the double event is coming now for Saturday and Sunday, that you saved up your stamina pots as well, that you stacked up your stamina as well with all your gem refills if you got a lot of gems available, obviously. So make sure that you have that available for the weekend. Then let's talk about something very simple, which a lot of people discussed. Where is it already? Where's the event, guys? Where's the event? So if we look at the event real quick, the Wishbinder event, right? So we have the Wishbinder event. So after you did 100 summons on the standard banner, you are now able to choose one of these 3 units. Now this is very simple. If you are a PvE person, you don't have claws, go pick claws. If you are a PvP person, you don't have Tsuki, go pick Tsuki. And Veronica, you only pick if you have the other 2. Now in general thing is pick claws. If you have claws, pick Tsuki. If you have Tsuki and claws, then pick Veronica last. So this is what you want to do, and that's all you need to know for the Wishbinder event. Now moving forward, I have a simple strategy when it comes now to the 2x event, and I feel like a lot of people might make the mistake and use this event now to just straight go into Doki Doki Aurora and just straight up drop all their stamina in these dungeons to get as many modules and gear as possible, which in general is not a bad strategy. But you know what, there's also something you can do which is better, because if you think about it, realistically speaking, at the end of the day, all the stamina you put into threshold is basically giving you double the amount that you're usually getting. So let's say you're dumping a week worth of stamina into threshold, right? Now you basically farm 2 weeks in 1 week time period. Okay, this is what you usually do. But the stuff you don't usually do is investigation and GP. Now my general rule of thumb to X event did change, and I just came up with something very simple. The question should always be in that specific order. Do you have any units you need to level up? That is question number 1. Look at your units and see how many units you need to max out to get to level 50, or maybe you need something from 5-star, get all the way up to 45, and then so you can 6-star it, right? No, those are different options. But generally speaking, the first thing you want to do is look at your roster. How many of your units are 6-star and sitting at level 1? For me, for example, I have a lot of units sitting at level 1 6-star right now, 10 units actually. I know not everybody is in the same situation, but this is how I approach things. Now I look at my units and see like, okay, I have so many units that are not 6-starred yet. Now, for example, let's take a look at Rahu. And I'm just giving you a standard example because a lot of you guys will be like, oh yeah, I'm just farming threshold. No, I need better gear because I need more stats. But you also need your base stat values, right? To make your modules worth your time and investment. Now, if you look, for example, at a Rahu at level 150, he has a defense value of 757. Now, if you take a look at the archive and then look at a Rahu, which is then maxed out, he has 948 total defense. So basically currently with my level 1 Rahu at 6-star, I'm losing 200, or not I'm losing, but I'm missing 200 flat stats. Now if you combine that with defense percentage pieces, you're actually losing a lot of stats. And also the HP, there's so many different factors no matter what unit you're using. Maybe you're using a support unit, you're using a healer, or you're using a DPS, right? There's so many stats you're basically losing because these units are not level 50. Now, what does feel awkward is doing investigation when 2x is not active, because it feels very, very bad, right? It feels incredibly, incredibly bad. Now, and that's why I came up with a simple strat that is basically, look at my units right now. Do I need to get anything to level 50? I have something I need to level 50. The first thing I always will do is now go into investigation first, because that is guaranteed progress. Everything I get, all the XP books I get, I can convert into stats, making my unit tankier, adding more DPS to my DPS units, whatever it might be the case, right? Now, this is what I want to, because that is guaranteed. I'm getting value. I 100% get something. I can do threshold, spend all my stamina there and don't get anything, but I want to guarantee that thing first. I want to get all my units that are 6-star. This is my goal for this weekend. I want to get all my units that are sitting at 6-star. I want to get them all to level 50. Once I've done that, I want to look at all my 5-stars right now and see like, okay, what do I need to prep to 45, which I then want to get to 6-star as well, right? Now, this is what I want to do. Now, after I dumped all my stamina into the investigation and got all the units I want to max level, right? Which is probably the majority of my stamina, because I'm probably sitting at around 13k stamina for this weekend in total. So I'm probably going to drop around 10k stamina into my units just to max them out and have like maybe a little bit on top of that. That's the next thing. I look at my GP situation. My GP situation is also not really good. I used a lot of my boxes which I had. I feel like in the consumables, you see here, I don't have that many, like only 55, 18, 70. That's not really that much, right? But for example, if we look here, I don't have that much. So my plan is I get my units to level 50 first. Then I see how much stamina I have left. Then I see the situation. Okay, my reds look good. I have 85 of the gold ones. I have 1200 of the purples, and I have almost 3000 of the blues. But I see everything else is kind of lackluster. So that tells me after I'm done with my XP farming, now the next thing I want to do is drop my stamina into my GP. I want to get all the stuff up, because I also noticed, like, for example, I'm working on a Zanya, a unit I really hate in terms of PvP, but I need to get her to max skill. Now, what do I need for that? I need my GP, but I'm also lacking the GP right now. So that's why for me personally, this is what I want to do. And I don't want to waste my time midweek farming any GPs when 2x is not up. So I want to just get a healthy and reasonable amount of GPs again back up. So when I decide to any unit, right, is it a SSR or an SR unit, if I decide to, okay, I want to lettuce this up, this unit, I can just put lettuce in it and I don't have to think about, oh, I need to farm GP. I just want that stuff to be ready to go. My module farming, I do nonetheless all the time, every single time, and my shell farming as well, right? I do that all the time anyways. Now, this is where I can get value out of these two dungeons. Now, after I'm done with that as well, if I have any leftover stamina at this point, probably not, but if in case I do have, then the rest I will definitely go either in Doki or Aurora, depending on what I want to do. Probably Aurora, because I neglected it for quite some time now and I dropped more of Doki, but maybe I'm also just farming Doki and say, like, you know what, this is like a field type of situation. I don't know which one I will farm yet, and it depends on, do I even have stamina left. But this is my approach. The reason why I'm approaching this, the faster I am done, for example, when it comes to my units, right, the faster I'm done with getting all these units to 6-star level 50, that means in the future, because the 2x event is a reoccurring event, right, the faster I'm done with leveling my units, the earlier I can start also to dump all my stamina and save my stamina for the threshold when there is a 2x event, because then when the 2x event is coming around, I don't have to think about, do I want to do no investigation? Do I need to do investigation? Do I need to do GP? I can just do everything here because I done everything else. Now, when it comes to future, also 2x events, now it's maybe there's like 1 or 2 units, so I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what, I saved up like 10-15k stamina, I can just drop 500 stamina in here because now it's worth, I get a little bit up, you know, just preparing for the next 1 or 2 units basically. So when you get a new character, boom, you can already get it to level 50. So you're always prepared. So I will always then go, okay, I invest like 500-600 stamina every 2x event into investigation, because that's the amount I need to get a new character which is released, a new SSR character or 2 new characters which are released in the game. Whenever I can just comfortably get them to level 50 without thinking, oh, I need XP, right? And then depending on how my GP situation looks like, I can farm a little bit of that stuff if I need it. But basically at this point in time, I don't need that much stamina into these 2 dungeons anymore. It just just to have enough to be prepared for the next unit, so I can max out without needing to like think about, oh, I need to work on so many different things, right? And then I can just comfortably say, okay, no, you know what? I just get my fastest team possible and just dump everything in Doki Doki and Aurora. And that's about it. Now, this is the approach for the 2x event, and as I said, for the Wishbinder as well. Unity Train is back. This one is actually fairly easy. So you can look at the top teams here. I used something similar. I used this specific lineup here. You see Team 3, for example, but instead of the Messiah, I used Mio. Right, so I used 4 basically supports just with single DPS. Was super easy. So this is not a super hard one this time, so it is a little bit more accessible overall. So do that as well to get your resources done. Also, guys, do not forget Ethernet Rally did reset and you get a lot of goodies there. So make sure to do the Ethernet Rally as well while you're doing your 2x event. Perfect timing to do it now because you're grinding and getting rid of your stamina anyways, and you get more resources, more lattices, stuff like that. So make sure you complete that as well. And now usually I do my standard finishing, you know, how I end my videos, but you know, this time we do it a little bit differently. I do have a SSR guaranteed ticket. So let's see for the end of this video what SSR unit I get here. Now I wonder, give me a DPS unit I don't have. Like I would definitely take a Yali dupe. What is it? Why am I only getting the lollies?